This is my thesis. I'm focusing on women's empowerment in rural Uganda, specifically Jagusi Parish, Uganda. So this is my working definition of women's empowerment. It was informed by the World Bank and empowerment expert Naila Kabir. You would think that measuring empowerment is pretty intuitive, but actually it's been pretty challenging and really inconsistent. So why are empowerment metrics important? Empowerment measures determine who gets funding and what programs and types of empowerment get funding. So what's the problem? We measure it wrong. We measure it wrong because we don't know what women want. The development field lacks full accounts of women's stories, challenges, and triumphs. Because of this data gap, many organizations assume that women want full autonomy and independence all the time. This leads to mislabeling women as either unempowered, or it shifts the burden of economic responsibility onto these already impoverished women. My thesis challenges this independence assumption. Our methodology uses community-based metrics to highlight women's aspirations and experiences. The purpose of this study is to explore what women want most. The research team partnered with a local aid organization and Uganda University to develop 12 cards depicting empowerment scenarios. Then we randomly select 70 women in Jagusi Parish, Uganda, to do the survey and to talk about their experiences and their aspirations. Then I used these rankings to create an index to score them based on highest priority. And I looked at key informant interviews and the survey to see what trends were popping out about what women wanted most. Then I compared these trends against one common empowerment metric called the IFPRI. And I limited my data analysis to what women wanted and their top 3 choices of all of their choices. So these are the highest scoring experiences and aspirations in my index. Note that they're all pro-social. It includes educating your kids, making partner decisions about finances, and going to the antenatal clinic together. What women want most is support networks with their partners, their community, and their children. These reasons are for economic survival. Paying for birthing and childcare costs when women want costs when her income might be low due to her pregnancy. It's also because women want access from other women to land, to money, and to other labor. And the last reason is because they invest in their children's education, so then when they're older and they need somebody to help take care of them, their children are well positioned to do so. However, women do not want complete dependence on their partners. The least chosen card was depicting a man making all of the decisions about finances on his own. Actually, key informant responses indicate that complete dependence and complete independence can be dangerous for women because it might incite domestic violence or loss of income. Women are the bedrock of the poverty networks of dependence, and they are meaningful decision makers. Let's take this example. There's a village near Jagusi Island. It's called Uganda. That village was evaluated by the IFPRI, a common empowerment score. And the IFPRI prioritizes women speaking out in public. Yet, they found that the women were scoring well. But in nearby Jagusi, these women didn't care about speaking out in public meetings. That was not their priority. So it's no wonder why women are scoring low on these metrics. With my method, you would know what women want most, and you would apply your funding accordingly. Funding should target what is most important to these women. The best way to do that is using community-based metrics like mine. As development practitioners, we too must support these women if we want our programs to best help them, and if we want these women to not only survive, but thrive. And thank you. Okay.
Is there a wide amount of diversity in terms of what the top 3 choices were? You found large heterogeneity among the women you surveyed?
Not really. The top 3 choices for experience and aspirations tend to be going with your partner to the antenatal clinic, paying for your kids' college, and investing in things together with your partner. Essentially, things that scored really low in the top 3 would be like spending money on getting my hair done, or getting luxury items at the market, or something like that. More quote-unquote selfish type things. That was really the only trend. I didn't see much heterogeneity in that.
I'm wondering how explicitly gendered and why the options, like the cards that were given were, and the framing of the exercise was, because I noticed that all of the scenarios you presented as your findings are very heavily gendered and don't focus on things like protection from shocks, healthcare, having savings, or things like that.
Yeah, so we do get at that in our survey. But as far as the empowerment scenarios, we wanted things that were everyday practical and would actually apply to most women, as well as things that are commonly targeted in development. So a lot of these things are already initiatives by aid organizations in the area. So we worked with them to kind of decide what was most relevant to these women. And we went from that starting point, and because we only have a set of 12, some things make the cut and some things don't. But we want to give everybody a chance, even the poorest of the poor, so.
I would say that the results could be more conditional on who the women are. In other words, you're presenting kind of overall as though there was homogeneity and
Yeah, there was
it
no.
depends so much on context, but you could make the results more conditional on context.
Yeah, there is no statistical difference in tribe, education, age, any of that to do with their top 3 choices. And a big part of that is because there are 70 women and you're choosing between 12, so you're really splitting all of that. So statistically, there's no difference. But I do get into my paper the accounts that women have in which it does have some sort of conditions, and that's more situational conditions rather than demographic conditions. But yeah, statistical power, it's a thing.
So how would you respond? I know like one of the reasons that we see the questions that are like, do you feel comfortable speaking in front of groups of people, is because donors want to compare and contrast across many different geographies, like how their gender, like how those empowerment indexes are differing between the people that are getting funding. So how do you respond to the idea that like this should be more conditional in the area, then you can't compare and contrast?
Yeah, you can compare and contrast, but I'm not sure that a blanket strategy, which isn't proven to be work. So this, essentially, the measurement here that I compared to said 63% of women in this area of Uganda are unempowered. And I do take issue with a measurement that is saying the majority of the time more than half of the women in all the areas that we're testing are unempowered. So that in and of itself warrants more of a discussion of what's going into that metric. But I don't think that standardization should mean that it shouldn't sacrifice where we put our funding and what we prioritize just because we want to standardize. And that you can make 12 cards or more in each situation and then ask women what are most important to them and then target your funding accordingly and maybe limit the set, make it a larger set, but have that be more standardized.
Both saying, how do you explain the difference between your survey and history survey?
The differences? Well, I asked them what they want. I mean, if we didn't do that.
So what does it tell you? I know that. What does it tell you?
Well, it tells me essentially that the IFPRI, they're weighting everything so that if you're doing things autonomously or independently as a woman, your score is going to go higher. But all these women are saying, I want to do things with my partner, with my family, an investment in my family, an investment in myself. So that's why they're scoring low. So on my measure, obviously, I wouldn't say someone's empowered or not empowered. That's not the point. The point is, what do they want? And you're getting at that more with my survey because you see that they don't care about autonomy in those aspects, they actually want help. So that's the difference.